One Nation, One Election, revolutionizing India's electoral system. India, as the largest democracy in the world, has a unique and complex electoral process. With 28 states, 8 union territories, and over 1.4 billion citizens, elections at the state and national levels are staggered across different timelines. The concept of One Nation, One Election proposes synchronizing Lok Sabha, parliamentary, and Vidhan Sabha, state assembly, elections to streamline the process, reduce costs, and ensure better governance. The idea of One Nation, One Election, ONOE, is not new. India held simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies until 1967. However, due to premature dissolutions of state governments and the Lok Sabha, the cycle was disrupted. ONOE seeks to restore this synchronization, requiring elections across the country to occur on the same day or within a defined period. The proposal is being revisited as a significant reform to improve governance, reduce the financial and logistical burden of elections, and minimize the frequent political disruptions caused by staggered electoral cycles. Cost efficiency. Elections in India involve enormous expenditure on logistics, security, personnel, and technology. Conducting Lok Sabha and Assembly elections simultaneously would reduce repetitive costs, saving public funds that can be redirected toward development programs. Governance stability. Frequent elections often lead to policy paralysis, as governments focus on short-term populist measures instead of long-term development. ONOE would allow governments to function without the constant pressure of impending elections, enabling better planning and implementation of policies. Reduced administrative burden. Staggered elections require a significant deployment of security forces, election personnel, and resources across states over extended periods. Synchronizing elections would streamline this process, reducing strain on administrative machinery and security forces. Decreased electoral fatigue. With staggered elections, political parties, voters, and the Election Commission remain in campaign mode almost year-round. ONOE would reduce this fatigue by consolidating the electoral process into a single phase. Increased voter turnout. Simultaneous elections might encourage higher voter participation, as citizens would only need to vote once for both the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Reduced politicization of governance. Frequent elections often lead to decisions driven by electoral calculations rather than governance priorities. ONOE could create an environment where governments focus on fulfilling their mandates without immediate electoral distractions. Constitutional and legal hurdles. Synchronizing elections requires amendments to the Constitution and election laws, including Articles 83, 85, 172, and 174, which govern the tenure and dissolution of the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Achieving consensus among political parties for these changes is a significant challenge. Practical implementation. Aligning the tenure of existing state assemblies with the Lok Sabha would require either curtailing or extending their terms. This might face resistance from political parties and could be perceived as undemocratic by voters. Impact on federalism. India's federal structure allows states to operate independently, including holding elections as per their constitutional timeline. ONOE might be seen as undermining the autonomy of state governments by imposing a centralized electoral schedule. Logistical challenges. Conducting simultaneous elections across India would require unprecedented levels of coordination, including deploying millions of electronic voting machines, EVMs, and ensuring adequate security across the country. Dominance of national issues. Simultaneous elections could lead to national issues overshadowing state-specific concerns. This might harm regional parties and result in a skewed representation of local interests in governance. Potential for political instability. If a government, either at the state or national level, collapses midterm, holding immediate elections to maintain synchronization would be difficult. Alternatives like appointing a caretaker government or president's rule might not always be ideal solutions. Phased synchronization. Instead of immediate nationwide implementation, elections could be synchronized in phases. For instance, elections of states with similar timelines can be aligned first, gradually expanding to other states. Strengthening electoral processes. Adequate preparation, including increasing the capacity of the Election Commission, upgrading electoral infrastructure, and addressing concerns related to EVMs and voter security, must precede ONOE implementation. Consensus building. Political consensus is crucial for a reform of this magnitude. The government should engage in discussions with all political parties and stakeholders to address concerns and build trust. Constitutional safeguards. Amendments to implement ONOE must include safeguards to uphold federalism, respect state autonomy, and ensure provisions for unforeseen circumstances, such as the premature dissolution of a government. One nation, one election has the potential to revolutionize India's electoral system by enhancing efficiency, reducing costs, and stabilizing governance. However, its implementation requires meticulous planning, broad political consensus, and robust constitutional amendments to address the practical and federal challenges it poses. As of 2024, while the idea enjoys significant support for its benefits, its feasibility and acceptance remain contentious. If implemented with care, ONOE could mark a transformative milestone in India's democratic journey, ensuring a more cohesive and efficient electoral process that strengthens governance and empowers citizens. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this exploration of one nation, one election insightful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on India's democratic processes and governance. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters.